racing. It's in our blood. From the No Limits of Texas to the high-speed banks at Daytona.
I mean, nobody's going to catch that 3-truck of Hal Amy as he takes it.
From the drop of the green flag. To green flag pit stops. It's in their DNA. We live for it. There's 7 nights in a week. And only one night matters to us. The moment to prove that we're the best. Laying down an entire season. Pushing the limits. We're made for it.
Bumper, Artie Peterson out to the lead. Glenn Jamison's pushing hard now. Garrett behind him. Top 5 could throw a blanket over it. Artie's going to drop down to the inside. 10 car's going to start pushing. These guys are getting a little dicey back in 5th and 6th place. Little contact between the 14 and the 70. 63, 3 wide in the front. Artie Peterson stuck out in the middle. Brandon Winning, we got a car down on the apron. 70 car, and now a car up in the wall. We got a wreck behind him. 1 lap to go. Rick Fagone has got the position right now. Garrett Helmlinger and Glenn Jamison neck and neck. We got a push on the inside. Push on the 10 car. Rick Fagone looks like he might pull it off neck and neck at the line. And the 10, oh, the Garrett Helmlinger. I can't believe what I just saw. It looks like Garrett Helmlinger.
Survival of the fittest. 16 chase drivers. 1 championship. Who's got what it takes? As they give the command to start the engines, it's time to find out. WFO is live right now.
On it, but man, Fagone has just a perfect 1 and 2 right there, Nation. Fagone's going to bring it off the bottom out of turn 4. Can he hold them off to the start finish line? And I believe he's going to, Nation.
Your win. WFO Twisted Tuesday Truck Series presented by Amy Contracting, live tonight at Chase Race number 3, Iowa Speedway, Newton, USA. The Iowa Speedway Mile. Air temperature 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Track temperature 69, really close temp. Tires are going to be everything here tonight. Lots of grip on the track, but that means it's going to wear out the right front. These guys are going to be using the brakes pretty early to get down into turns 1 and 2. Trying to get a good drive off at 3 and 4. They're going to be sideways, so passing here a little difficult. You got to get right to the bottom. It's about the only way you're going to clear them, and then as the run progresses, you might be able to get a run on the outside in 3 and 4, but you got to pray that guy on the inside stays down because it's so easy to wash up the track on these exits. Good day to you. Marsden, good to see you in the chat. Welcome in, everybody. WFO Truck Series ready to square off here as we get up here to the grid and starting on that pole. You've got yourself Chuck Sweeting in the 75 machine. Take a look here at your grid as we go through. Tommy Haynes starting in the second spot just outside of him. And the second row there is Christopher Spencer as we move through. Let's go to the pit lane just to get a good look at these guys. Christopher Spencer starting in the third spot with Jacob Daniels in fourth. Row number 3's got John Sanu in that 86 machine with Burt Wilson. I'm sure it's chromed out. And that nerd's in sixth spot. Richard Holland in 7th position with Cody Williams. My favorite to win this race tonight. Cody Williams in the 8th position. Rick Fagone in the 10 truck, and Hal Amy side by side to round out your top 10. John T. Wimbish, Vernon Margheim, it's a new name. Kind of had a rough start here at WFO, but hopefully can get a good finish here tonight. And then we've got Todd Cleveland, Dakota Floyd, Michael McCauley, Jeff Gilmore, Chad Meadows, James Lee, Craig Learman, Brian Beach, your top 20. Jonathan William, Richard Springer, Wesley Whitfield, haven't said that name in a while. Good to see the 07 back out on the track with Glenn Jamison starting in the 24th spot. So that'll round out your grid here tonight. And that pace truck takes 2 trips around this place. It's short enough for them to do that. I don't believe they do that at Dover, but here tonight they're going to do it. All right, timing and scoring presented by Nation 01. It's working really well as always. He'll be up here in the blimp camera. We put him up extra high today. Out here in the Great Plains, a little closer to sea level, his nose starts bleeding, so. But here comes the pace car getting ready to square off. Chuck Sweeting with an excellent lap time here tonight. Bring up the qualifying results. Able to run a 23.174. That's a stellar lap time. Tommy Haynes just about 0.03 of a second off. But here we go, getting ready to go green, and there it is. Chuck Sweeting hits the loud pedal, and we're off at Iowa. Chuck Sweeting able to lead lap 1. Christopher Spencer gets around Tommy Haynes for the 2nd position. Looks like he's going to go up there and take the battle to the 75. And there's John Sanu on the outside of Tommy Haynes. So Haynes started in the 2nd position, already losing some ground very early here. But he is running the preferred line. But once you get trapped and you can't get your exit speed, that's kind of where the 17 truck is losing it right now. Looks like, I don't know if that's part of the paint scheme. It looks like it might be on the 86 of Sanu. It looks like they've changed that up to make it look damaged, even if it isn't. The battle scars. Haynes looks like he is really struggling here on these exits. He gets back under Sanu with a crossover, though. Looks like he's going to take it into 3 and 4. And then Jacob Daniels, strong show for him right now. He's turned up the heat, up into the top 5. Burt Wilson moving through some positions. Wilson's actually started in 6th. He's just holding on right now. Thought he started in the 8th spot. But there's a guy right there to look for. He's already moving up through this field. That would be the 12 of Cody Williams. And he's just favored in my mind to win this race. He's always dominant here at Iowa. He loves the way this track handles, but he does have one guy that's going to get in his way, and he's already clocked out to a 0.7 second lead. It's almost a full second. Christopher Spencer trying to hold off Tommy Haynes here. Haynes going back to the bottom. Maybe the tires just need to get warmed up for this 17 truck. Oh, and the 11 pulls it down all the way to the bottom in 3 and 4. Very early entry there for the 11. Surprised by that one. The 11's actually losing a little bit of ground now. Sanu trying to take away the 3rd spot for the 2nd time tonight. He had it for a brief second, but he's got a lot of hungry trucks behind him. Right on board with Cody Williams here. He's running behind Jacob Daniels for the 5th position to get up there in the top 5. Looks like they're battling a tight truck on the entry. Looks like it's scrubbing into the corner, pushing up the track. Not good for the tires. It's going to wear out the right front very quickly, and you can see Cody having to put a lot of wheel in that thing to get it down to the bottom. The problem with putting a lot of wheel into it is when you come off the corner, you do what Cody just did, and you get a little loose. That allowed John T. Wimbish to get to the inside, and that little wiggle over time, that can wear out the right rear. So you got to be careful that you don't put too much wheel into it trying to make that thing turn. Let's go on board with Wimbish and see if he can complete this pass. Again, limited tire sets here also going to make it difficult. You can see washing up a little bit here. Wimbish has to back off of it. Tough to pass. 3 truck at Hal Amy. Looks like he's working on the back of Richard Holland now. All the way down to the bottom in 1. Just so tough to pass here. You got 3 HJRM trucks. 9th, 10th, and 11th right now. And then Cody Williams trying to work his way into the top 5. Field's gotten stagnant here. Take a look from the blimp camera. Nation 01 presenting the camera angles up here tonight. We've got a little bit of a race going on back here. It looks like for the 12th position, Dakota Floyd side by side with the 33 of Margheim. Looks like he gets around him. But then the 55 now trying to take it to the bottom, and that's Todd Cleveland. Tell you what, that Copenhagen machine has looked pretty good in the last couple races. He's been working his way from the back of the field, though. It just occurred to me tonight we don't have a 26 or trying to think. I can't think the other number. Basically, we got 2 guys that are in chase contention that aren't in the race tonight, and that is unusual. '63 truck, who started way back there in the field. Started 24th, up to 16th spot right now. Glenn Jameson working hard, trying to get that truck up into the top 10. He's got his work cut out for him, though, because there is a pretty sizable gap, about 2 seconds from the 10 of Rick Fagone all the way back to the 33, who gets back around Dakota Floyd. Vernon Margheim. not really trimming that gap down. The second pack of cars a little off the pace right now. It's staying between 1.6 and 1.8. That's a lot of time here on this short mile speedway. Some of these guys might be at a threat of going a lap down if it continues to go green. Dakota Floyd back on the inside here for the 12th spot. Sweeting, that gap's kind of slowed down a little bit. It lengthened out to 0.7 of a second. It's grown to 0.9 of a second, almost a full second over Tommy Haynes in the second spot. Bootlegger machine trying to work his way up there to the front. And he qualified right outside, but struggled a little bit on that start and got pinched up on the outside, had to gain all that ground back. So kudos to Tommy Haynes for holding those guys off. And then you got Christopher Spencer in the third position, who's had just great performances the last probably 5 races. We've interviewed him twice. He's been up here in the booth several times this season. And it's good to see this driver finally putting it all together and kind of dictate where his races end up. Good to see the 11 turn the season around. Had some rough starts there, especially at Auto Club, and so good to see it. John Sanu in the top 5. You know, it's one of those guys that's massively improved in the league overall. Had the speed, but it was a lot of short run speed. Now he's been able to put entire races together and get top 5s. It'd be nice to see John get up here in the booth. I think we've had one interview with him this season in a podium, but it would be good to see the 86 get up there in that 3rd spot or higher. Cody Williams able to work around Wimbish, and he's working for the 4th spot right now. And that time around, he was a little bit quicker than your leader of Chuck Sweeting. So remember I said he is running that thing wide open on the exits, right up to the edge of the wall. He's definitely pushing it. He's got the speed. Can he get to the position? Holland working the inside of Wimbish here. John T. Wimbish, another one of those guys that's just had solid performances all year long. Tide Machine, always a signature paint job. Easy to spot out there on the track. And then to his inside, Richard Holland, one of the chase contenders as well. Trying to figure out how he's going to get around the 56 right now. It is a struggle to pass here. You can see it lap after lap. These guys trying to figure out the line to get around. Even in practice, they were struggling to pass each other. Then we got Jacob Daniels, who was doing really well. He's up there in the top 5. He's fallen back to the 8th spot. Looks like maybe the long run tires starting to wear on that Skull machine, but still in the top 10 for him tonight. And he's got some work to do. Burt Wilson and the Nerds machine. Tell you what, always love those paint jobs. Sharp looking car. Tyler, let's go 31. Hashtag your favorite driver in the chat. Post-race interviews with the top 3 and the most voted for driver becoming driver of the day. Make sure you cast your vote before the checkered flag. We'll keep track of that for you. Welcome into the stream, Tyler. I take it you're a Richard Holland fan. But just inside the top 10 right here, the fan favorite overall, Hal Amy in the 3 truck. And he was challenging Richard Holland there a little bit ago for the 7th spot. He's fallen back a little bit. It looks like that speed's coming back to him. So right on board with Amy. Dives it down to the bottom. He keeps peeking the inside. Oh, really close there on the 70. Trying to get his nose in there and get around him. And then meanwhile, Wilson's working on the back of Jacob Daniels, and it's nobody's going anywhere. I don't see any passes being completed. Oh boy, this thing is tight. It's a deceitful pass. You have to almost drive it in deep and brake longer than the other guy. And pray that he messes up his exit. You can see Wilson trying to get by with that in 4. But I think Amy's just going to have to pass on the outside. I know you're more comfortable driving down to the bottom, but I think the better pass here is going to be up high. All right, back up here to your leader. That lead is trimmed down to 0.7 of a second. Tommy Haynes catching up to him little bit by little bit. His tires starting to wear down. 17 races in American Sim League. You guys have seen him on the Sunday night broadcast. And I tell you what, that group over there is also very competitive. And it'll push you that much harder. We're trying to see where Haynes measures up right now in the 2nd spot, and then Christopher Spencer in 3rd. Williams trying to catch up. He gets around John Sanu. Holland now trying to clear him. Almost had him cleared. Go down into 1 and 2. Let's see if he can get it done. Sanu way up on the outside. Maybe the outside would get a better run. He drove it a little bit too deep and got up into those bumps in 1 and 2. Very easy to do here. We went clean and green for 33 of them, though, this far, and 0 cautions, 118 laps left. These guys are ticking away 133 miles quickly. Limited tire sets. We're going to see some pit strategy here soon enough. It's probably going to be able to go around 40 laps before they have to bring it down pit road. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be the first goer. Got a little battle back here for the 16th spot. Brian Beach gets around Chad Meadows. Glenn Jameson still trying to get up there. He started back in 24th. He was working on Chad Meadows, but he gets past. Now the 21 of Richard Springer to the inside. And then sneaking up into this battle, we've got James Lee in the 20th spot. Looked like he was gaining some ground. These guys running side by side. He might be up there in the mix in just a minute. We watched Craig Learman during qualifying, turning some extra laps, trying to get used to this truck, but it looks like maybe tonight just doesn't quite have the line figured out yet. Back in the 22nd position, Michael McCauley in 21st, Crown Royal Machine. Some of these guys that have had rough seasons all race long. Jonathan William in the 45. Sounds like he's clutching it a little bit. He might be trying to push it a little extra on fuel. The chromed out Mountain Dew machine looks like it's struggling a little bit, but he's going to make the best of it and work some fuel strategy. Dakota Floyd gets around Hal Amey. This is for the 11th position. 12th position, and now Dakota Floyd going to look inside. We've got our pass side by side right now with Vernon Margheim and the 72 of Jacob Daniels. Daniels looks like he's getting tight. He's struggling. Larry Dickerson, good to see you. Where you been, my guy? Where's the 03 at? All right, first takers on pit road. We've got Burt Wilson on pit road. Like the 72 of Daniels comes down as well. So 2 trucks, first in. Brian Beach actually hits the pit road, the 28 as well. Chad Meadows Jeff Gilmore. Haven't said that name very much this season. Wilson able to hit his stall perfectly. Now Vernon Margheim brings it down. Richard Springer in as well. Winbush bringing it in. These guys kind of spread out a little bit. I was guessing 40 laps. Some of these guys went 41, 42 laps. But Sweeting's still out there on the track. Haynes about 1.3 back. Can anybody make up ground? They have a lot of time to make up. Trying to figure out where this 12 of Cody Williams, there he is, bringing it down pit road. Christopher Spencer in as well. Timing and scoring all over the place right now. Kind of tough to figure it out. There comes Sweeting down pit road. So your leader hits pit road. That means Rick Fagone's going to be your leader. He stayed out one more lap. Todd Cleveland probably going to follow suit. I don't know. He's going to stay out there one more. That's going to cycle Todd Cleveland into the lead. Hal Amy follows down pit road, pitting from the 4th spot. Let's see how well these guys get on and off pit road. Chuck Sweeting hitting his pit stall. Looks like 4 tires for the 75. Tire's going to be oh so important, but if you're making it 45 laps, I think they can pretty much take tires every stop. They might have to top off a little bit with fuel, but if you're making it 45 laps, you know, it's not a bad thing. You're going to go to lap 90. Then if you can push it, a full 50 and clutch this thing, you might have the race-winning strategy. You're going to have to save about 5 laps of fuel. But if you're saving from the start and clutching this thing, as you see McCauley coming down pit road, 46 laps into this stint, and the 45, who was clutching it massively earlier, is going to stay out for a couple more. I mean, do the math here. The 45 truck could be the guy that ends up winning this race. If it stays green and he's clutching it, if he's able to make it 50 laps and break this race up into just 1 or 2 into 2 stops with tires, he might be the guy to beat. He's still out there clutching it. He's going to take it to lap 50, I believe. Here comes 49. He's got about a 5-second gap over Chuck Sweeting right now. And there he brings it down pit road. So 45 truck has to hit it. No speeding penalties. That's the most important part. The strategy means absolutely nothing if you get a speeding penalty. So already working some early race strategy with the fuel and the tires, and we'll see what Jonathan Williams has up his sleeve. Christopher Spencer able to nab away the 2nd spot from Tommy Haynes after those pit stops. But nobody's been able to steal away this lead, and it's grown back to a 2nd gap for the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Pass for 2nd though. 17 Haynes down to the bottom in 1 and 2. Looks like he's going to steal it away. Haynes has 1 lap fresher tires in the 11. 1 lap making a big difference in 3 and 4. You can see that drive off. He's able to clear him very quickly. They're looking at going 3 wide for just a second there, but Spencer thinks better of it. They've got the lap traffic here in front of them. That's the 20 of Craig Learman that they're trying to get around. And then Cody Williams hot on the tail of the 11 right now. You vote for me every Wednesday for Driver of the Day. I appreciate that, Larry. What's going on, Diana? Hi, Denise. A lot of action going on right here for the 3rd spot. Cody Williams trying to get around Christopher Spencer. This battle's been going on for about 4 laps. Williams just doesn't look like he can get to the inside and clear him in time. Then you got Richard Holland a little bit further back, about a second back from this group, in the 5th position. So that rounds out your top 5. Burt Wilson back here in the 6th spot. Pretty strong gap, 2.5, almost 3 seconds. 6 seconds off the leader. So the interval between Richard Holland and Burt Wilson, pretty sizable. It would almost take a caution to shrink this field back up. Chuck Sweeting checking out now, 1.7 seconds away from Tommy Haynes. About midway through that last run, Tommy started to shave that lead away, but then they got into some lap traffic and pit stops, you know, and just cycled through. It didn't work out for the 17. He lost a position. Cody Williams finally able to clear the 11. So that puts him up to the 3rd spot. Let's see if he can shave away at Tommy Haynes now. 1.3 second gap between these two. Holland's coming though. Trying to get around the 81 of McCauley, and then he's going to go after the 11 of Christopher Spencer in 4th. Back here to Burt Wilson, and I'll tell you what, Vernon Markheim has not been able to put a race together yet this season. He's gotten wrecked out or something's happened on pit road, so good to see at lap 59, the 33 still out there on the track. Let's see if the GTR Toyota can get it done here tonight. Right on board with him here. Staying up there in the top 10, but still a lot of racing left to be done. You're sitting right next to me. All right, somebody that's kind of fallen off a little bit here. John Sanu, who was up in the top 5 earlier in this race, back to 9th spot. Rick Fagone trying to take away that position. And there's a little bit of right side damage on the 86, and that's not part of the paint scheme. That is definitely damaged because the rear quarter panel has scuff marks on it. So, Luke Transport Machine gonna need a little body work. But here he is, started first, running first. He's led 58 laps. Chuck Sweeting dominating performance thus far here at Iowa tonight. Chase race number 3. 75 showing him what's up, teaching him how to get around this place. And he's done it smoother than anyone else. Able to get on and off pit road. I'm still interested to see What this guy right here has in store is he's at a threat of going a lap down right now. But with his clutch strategy, saving fuel, I don't believe the 45 is going to finish in the 22nd spot. I think he's going to be able to make it one last stop than everyone else. And that could work out to his benefit. If he can make it to lap 100 and then clutch it through to 150, definitely a chance for a top 5 here for Jonathan Williams. All the name calling in the chat. You're both pretty. All right, calm down. All right, so in your top 3, Chuck Sweeting, Tommy Haynes, Cody Williams. Then we'll take it back a little further. Christopher Spencer, Richard Holland, your top 5. Vernon Margheim, John T. Wimbish, Burt Wilson, Johnson New, and Rick Fagone, your top 10. A lot of racing left to be done here. Lap 67 out of 150. We're going to take a quick little commercial break here just to get the voice back. WFO Twisted Tuesday Truck Series presented by Amy Contracting. We'll be right back after this. Oh my God. Oh my God, what a fucking thread there, buddy, huh? Oh my God, that was...
In and out.
Ow, I'm leaving. I'm leaving. Get me out of here. I lost the hubcap.
Oh.
Grab your crucifix.
Ah, you got me!
Bye.
You're running flechettes. Oh, he's still in here.
Anyway, you ready? Amy Contracting Truck Series back here at Iowa Speedway. Chase race number 3. Right now it's been the 75 of Chuck Sweeting. Dominating performance thus far. Tell you what, as this race progresses, it's not getting any easier for any of these guys. Maybe some strategy is going to have to play out before anybody can get it done and get around the 75. I'll tell you what, how many laps led? 72 thus far. And he's coming up on his tire stint, though. So they're working the strategy. I would say right now the 45 has the best strategy out of everybody. He has 3 laps led, and he's out there clutching it, trying to run a full 50 each time through. He's going to have to get to lap 100. But as it sits right now, Jonathan Williams, if he just had a little bit better of a qualifying start, instead of starting back there in the 21st position, maybe qualified somewhere around the 10th spot or so, this strategy could probably play out in his favor and end up winning him the race. But had a threat of going a lap down here. He's been back and forth with the 75 with Sweeting. Sweeting going to let him back by there for a second. I don't know if Sweeting maybe had some troubles with actually, Jonathan Williams, a threat to go 2 laps down. So clutching it, maybe not working out as well as we had hoped for him. He's still going for it. And we've got a yellow. That's going to mix everything up. Let's see if we can figure out where the yellow came out. Looks like the 21 of Richard Springer is down on the apron. So we're going to burn it down with what, chat? We got some fire. Oh, the 21 just snaps loose there on the exit of 4, down onto the apron. Takes it all the way to the grass. I'm not sure. The caution came out. He must have been sideways enough out there on the middle of the track. Get back and watch the gyro camera. This thing just snaps free on him. Great job keeping it off the wall, though. Watch the wheel. That thing just turned hard left on him. Hey, it helps the algorithm. Even if you just put emotes in the chat, it helps. So there's caution number 1 here tonight. Richard Springer with a spin on lap 81. These guys cycling through, you know they're going to bring it down pit road. That pretty much shoots the strategy down for the 45. We've got some trucks hitting each other. Looks like some contact between John Sanu and Richard Holland there on the exit of pit road. Let's take a look at that. Maybe not. I'm hearing contact. Maybe between Wimbish. We'll back it up again. Trying to figure out where this was. I don't see exactly where it was. The 57 maybe struggling to get into his pit stall. I'm not sure who that was. We had a truck on pit road, it sounded like. And I don't know if the 45... Somebody hit the wall maybe on the backstretch. I thought I heard contact on pit road, so... Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm losing it here. Yep. Going insane. All right, about to get some wave arounds. Get some of these guys back up on the lead lap. You've got the 18 of Brian Beach, Jacob Daniels, Burt Wilson. These guys all falling a lap down on that long green flag run. So here they come around the pace car when the lights go out. Glenn Jameson, it's Brad Cooper up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Hey, Cooper, how you doing tonight, man?
We're just watching the struggles. It looks like it's tough to pass out there. You started back in the 24th spot. You worked your way up to about the 16th, 17th position before that caution. What does it take to get around these guys?
Yeah, it's pretty tough out here. You know, this high line's pretty fast. Low line's good going in, but, you know, pinch is coming off. So it just takes a lot of patience. You got to wait, watch for some mistakes. Just kind of run nice and even, easy laps. And we're restarting ninth here, so come up quite a ways here. And looking forward to the last half of this race, buddy.
Yeah, 24th to 9th. That feels like you passed 1 million cars here tonight, doesn't it?
It sure as heck does, man. Seems like my work should be over, but we got a little bit more to go.
All right, lap 85 out of 150, doubling up. Good luck, man.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
All right, driver the 63 machine, Glenn Jameson. And yeah, like we said, probably the biggest gainer here in this race right now is the 63 truck. So I had to get his take because he knows how it is in traffic more than anyone else right now. But up into the top 10 for this restart. Chuck Sweeting getting ready to hit the loud pedal. Go on board with him and show you how to get through these gears. The pace car gets that left-hander down pit road, Geico restart zone, and here we go.
Green flag.
A little bit of a different story here now for Chuck Sweeting. He's got a little competition, change for second place, and we've got a yellow out there on the track.
We got a very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
Not sure where that happened at. Okay, Craig Learman looks like he might have lost it going into 1 and 2. And you know what they say about cautions here, chat. Oh, not even the fault of the 20 here. We'll back it up a little bit more. It looks like the 28 had a little bit of issues. Chad Meadows down there on the bottom, snaps it free just like we saw the 21 do earlier. And he was swatting flies in there, trying to keep that truck straight. He almost got it back. Let's ride on board with that because I guarantee that wheel is working. He had it saved. 20 had nowhere to go. Right on board with the 20 of Learman. He just had nowhere to go. So there's caution number 2. Yep, cautions like to fuck, and they make more cautions. They make little baby cautions, like we just saw. Less than a lap ran there. 2 cautions now, coming out on lap 87. Weather hasn't changed much here tonight. Still about 67 degrees. It was 68 to start. Track temperatures went up a degree. Air temperatures went down 1 degree. They had this track good and warmed up there just a moment ago, but here tonight at Iowa, it's looking like more of the Chuck Sweeting show. These guys can race green for the remainder of this race. All their strategies gone from what they had earlier. Some of these guys trying to make it in 2 stops. We had the 45 trying to work that magic of Jonathan William. He's back on the lead lap now, but he's one of the guys that can stretch it 50 laps. And if we take it back green, he could go down pit road right now and top off with fuel. We have another caution maybe with 50 to go. It could work out for him. I don't know. It's not totally out of the water. Well, that's crazy because we have Nation up here in the blimp. He's doing all the camera work, so that's crazy. He has his he has good cell phone reception up there, that high off the ground. But yeah, keep flying that blimp, Nation. Keep doing a great job. We appreciate you. Amy Contracting Truck Series here on WFO. The Twisted Tuesday Truck Series. It used to be Wicked Wednesday. We moved it to Tuesday. We now have Xfinity cars. If you guys are liking what you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. Helps with the algorithm. Leave some comments. Share this broadcast with all your friends and family. And never miss a single race here at WFO. Chase race number 3 shaping up here. And I had some points for you. I had some predictions, but you know, I really don't know where these numbers are going to end up. We can get them double back up here. I'll get a better understanding of what's happening out there on the track. And we'll try to bring the points up to you by the end of the broadcast. It's a thankless job, Nation, but I'm glad you're doing it. All right, so Cody Williams not quite able to show if he's got anything for this 75 yet. He did have Tommy Haynes putting some pressure on him, and Haynes, who's been running up here in the top 3 all night long, just hasn't been able to catch the 75. So we had a new guy up there in the second spot. Thought maybe we would see some fireworks. Hasn't happened yet. We'll see how the run progresses. Nobody really elected to top off with fuel. Brian Beach did bring it down pit road. Maybe Jonathan Williams, I think, looks like he brought it down to top off. He'll be in the 14th position. Burt Wilson, 15-lap stint, so he didn't come in to top off. Some of these guys working different timings and strategies. I'm not sure where this is going to end up, but yeah, if I'm from 15th back, I'm just going to bring it down pit road. You never know what's going to happen. We can have another caution, and these guys up front wouldn't be able to make it on fuel. So I would take a gamble. I mean, what have you got to lose? All right, pace car pulls off. 75 Chuck Sweeting, Geico restart zone, and there he goes. Maybe caught the 12 truck napping a little bit. Tommy Haynes is going to get to the inside here in 1 and 2. Take it all the way down to the bottom. Probably going to get a good run off and clear the 12. Not quite able to do that. The 12's going to push now for position. The 11 of Christopher Spencer following suit. You've got Richard Holland up there on the outside into the top 5. Side by side up here for the top 5. Johnson New trying to take it away from the 31. Christopher Spencer there in the center of all of it. And Tommy Haynes trying to fight away for second spot. They're still battling in 1 and 2. And another yellow flag comes out. And what was I telling you just a moment ago? We're breeding cautions. Not sure who that was. Let's take a look back. Maybe James Lee. I don't know. All right, burn it down with fire. All right, caution number 3. We're watching the 43 of James Lee here. He's going to be coming off the exit of 2 right now. Goes down the back straightaway. Doesn't look like anything abnormal happening right here. He's right in front of the 3 truck of Hal Amy, and maybe a little bit of a netcode touch there. We'll have to go on board with the 3 of Amy and see what happened. That looked like a little netcode. Didn't look like those guys really touched. See if we can get a... We don't really have a left rear. There it is. Let's get a good camera angle on this and see if they actually touch. think it was predicting contact, so maybe Amy did get into him a little bit there. But nonetheless, 43 truck has to bring it down pit road. And that's caution number 3 here tonight at Iowa. All right, let's pull another guy up here into the broadcast booth, see if we can get another interview going. Tommy Haynes, Brad Cooper up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you, Brad.
So you were up there and you were in the second spot. You've been running in the top 3 all night long. Cody Williams kind of nabbed that away for you for a second, but you were working hard down there on the bottom. Is it just tough to complete a pass here tonight?
Yeah, I kind of like the high line a little better. Bottom, I think it blows your tires up, but I'm good on the long run here, so we'll see what happens. I can gain on Chuck as the run goes on, but by the time it's time to pit, I done run out of time getting him, so then I just have to start all over again. But hey, all in all, good night. Hey, I'm glad to be in the top 3.
Hey, Bootlegger Toyota looking really strong out there. You started in second, still up there in the top 3. About 50 laps to go, and we've got some different strategies. What's the fuel looking like right now?
Well, it's saying I can make it from right here, but once we get back going, I know it's going to go down. I got an extra set of tires in the pits, and I plan on using them for the nights up.
All right, 10-4. All right, Tommy, letting a little strategy out there, but good luck.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, there's a 17. Couldn't find the race team, T&J. Found it. So there he is. Your current third place driver, Tommy Haynes, T&J Motorsports. John T. Wimbish, his other teammate. So right now, as it sits, I don't know. He says he can make it on fuel, but I'm going to guess that once they get going back green, it's probably going to be wrong. I don't think that that's the case. They've already put 16 laps on this stint, 17 now. Probably 10 of them under green. I'd have to say they're going to be about 5 or 6 laps short. Now, guys that have came in and topped off, though, like Burt Wilson, James Lee, Jonathan Williams, who keeps topping off. He knows this strategy. He can make it 50 laps. Nobody else was really doing that. You know, 42 laps, 43 laps about average to get around here for everybody. So I would have to say that the 45 has the winning strategy. If he clutches it and stretches it out, he can make it 50 laps. He knows he can do it. Let's see what happens, though. Chuck Sweden going to try it one more time. Let's see if we can go green. Is the 12 of Cody Williams going to be sleeping this time?
Green, green.
Already. That's just such a disadvantage to be out there on that outside. The 17 of Haynes lifted a little bit there on the exit of 2, but still on the inside of Cody Williams. Down to the bottom here. Christopher Spencer trying to follow through now. Like Haynes said earlier, he likes the outside line, doesn't want to be pinned down there, but he's going to keep trying. Take away that second position. Driving it down deep into 1. Oh, and he gets loose off the exit of 2 and loses a ton of ground. Almost 3 wide off the exit of 4. Haynes gets a little bit loose on the exit of 2 and just couldn't keep the truck under him. He lost 2 positions, falls back to 4th. Now he has Richard Holland trying to pass on the inside. Ricky comes down to the bottom. This is for the 6th position. Trying to single file out. I don't know where this is all going to end up. Cody Williams does not let the 75 of Chuck Sweeting out of his sight. This is what I was wondering about. He picked him at the start, chat. I just want to make that clear. I know that 75 is tough to beat, but the 12 truck has had awesome performances here in the past. I've raced with him many times here at Iowa. I know what he's capable of doing. I think he's going to give 75 a run for his money here momentarily. Still passing back here for the 6th spot. Gunn was to the inside. Now he's going to try the outside on the exit of 4. The new up into the wall. Just barely clips it on the exit of 4, but that might be just enough here for the 10 to clear him. Not quite. Now he's going to... Oh, they almost make contact in the 3. Ricky's trying to get around him, but man, that was kind of a chop there into 3 and 4. Thought they were going to wreck each other for a second. And we've got another battle up here in front of these boys. Holland was looking to the inside of Wimbish for Haynes for a second there. Oh, you're riding on board with John T. Wimbish. Ricky trapped down there on the bottom. This battle just inside the top 10. This is 7th through 10th position. Lynn Jameson there in 9th, and then Dakota Floyd rounding out your top 10. We were just talking to Jameson a moment ago. Borderline an alcoholic I've been talking to Jameson about all year. Just kidding. John T. Wimbish making a pass here. Let's look at that one. Inside John Sanu there for a second. Man, it's tough to pass on the inside. You just almost have to get a run at the right time out of 4 and hope that you can get the nose in there. Check back up here with your leaders. That gap hasn't really changed too much. 0.2 of a second. Sweeting hasn't pulled away like he did on Tommy Haynes earlier in this race. Haynes able to get it back underneath of him and running in the 4th spot, but that little hiccup there coming off of turn 2 cost him a good bit of ground. He is about a 1.5 seconds back from Chuck Sweeting. He's caught back up to Christopher Spencer, though. Might be having a battle here for the 3rd spot momentarily. Not sure if the tires like it or not, but it doesn't seem to be hurting it too bad. The 31 of Richard Holland been running the bottom quite a lot here, trying to get clear of guys. Just not able to get it done. He drives it all the way to the bottom in 3 and 4 here. Haynes kind of washes up the track on the entry, but then gets a huge run off of 4 and is able to hang with him. Holland been working on this for about 6 laps now, trying to get by the 17 truck. just not quite able to clear him that outside line, able to get back to the throttle a little bit earlier, steeper banking up there on the top. But this time around, it looks like he is going to do it. He's probably going to clear him. And a crossover move. Just so tough to pass. Tommy Haynes falls back to the 5th spot, but don't count it out yet. I don't think these guys are going to make it on fuel. One guy that I am questioning, though, he's probably out here doing the same thing he was doing earlier. Let's ride on board with him. He's got 19 laps on this stint, and he is clutching it. There he is. He's about I'd say 9 seconds from the closest guy, James Lee, 15 seconds off the leader. He is at a threat of going a lap down. As you see the cameras here, Chuck Sweeting going into 1 and 2. The 45 just now coming out of 1 and 2 down the backstretch. So he's got time. This could roll out in his favor as we've got about 31 laps to go. But right now the battle that is ensuing, the 12, Cody Williams. He's right there. Can he get it done? This battle's still going on back here. 7th to 10th. These guys have not shaped up at all. Ricky looks like he's struggling a little bit. He's trying to stay up in the top 10. Looks like Dakota Floyd trying to get around him now. This is for the 7th, 8th position. These guys still right on top of each other from 7th place back. 5th place back. Sanu up there in the clean air now in 5th spot. Hits the wall on the exit, and that gives Glenn Jamieson the 5th position. The new looked like he had clean air and nothing in front of him. He able to drive his own line and clips the wall on the exit of 4. Now trucks start scattering to clear around him. And it looks like the 10 truck's bringing it down pit road. So he knows he's not going to make it. He's going to early pit these boys with 28 laps left, splitting the run. First taker down pit road. The 10 truck. Checking back in with Jonathan William. And these guys, Tommy Haynes brought it down pit road as well. John T. Wimbish. So these guys all kind of on the split strategy.
Yellow's out.
Then the yellow flag comes out.
Out here, they get more acclimated to it, or it's still difficult.
Gonna take me a minute to figure out who this was. Looks like the 56 of Wimbish gets loose and spins out. See if we can find his truck here. It's like he's coming off turn 4 and it just snaps loose. It's been happening all night long. Takes the air off the spoiler, and then the 18 of Beach just nowhere to go. Let's ride on board with Brian Beach. They almost had contact coming out of 2. So just nowhere to go for Brian Beach, and that's going to bring out caution number 4 with 25 laps left, and that's unfortunate there for the 45. I would have liked to have seen how that all played out, but now these guys are going to cycle through their pit strategies. And yeah, everything that you knew a moment ago means nothing. Anybody that didn't pit is pitting now. And some of those guys that got caught a lap down hadn't quite cycled through yet. Cody Williams almost wins the race off pit road. go back and take a look at that real quick. This is going to be a close one here, chat. Really close one. The guy that we talked about earlier, we were talking to him up in the broadcast booth, ends up getting tracked a lap down, and it was a teammate that brought the caution out. So unfortunate for Tommy Haynes, who's been running in the top 3 all night long, falls back to the 15th spot, and he's going to get his lap back here. Another guy that got the unfortunate side of that, the 10, Rick Fagone. Jacob Daniels, another one of those guys. Ryan Beach. So quite a few different drivers trying to get those laps back. And I don't know if Beach is going to get it back or not because of the contact there. I don't know if that's going to work out. I know iRacing doesn't like to give waiver rounds to drivers that have incident points during the caution coming out. So Wimbish and Beach might not get their laps back. We're going to see here next time by if those guys get to come around. But yeah, fuel strategy completely out the window now. It's just going to be run it till it blows up, I guess. Now I'm looking here at the 72 of Jacob Daniels, who's been out on the track for 48 laps. I know he wants his lap back, but he might have to pit here. He might not be able to make it back around to even get back to the tail end of the field. I don't know. It's going to be close for him. We've seen how tight this truck is. You get used to driving that line after the 4 or 5 laps that you have initially on new tires. But with brand new tires, it seems like you can't get back to the throttle really at all, especially on the exit of 4. So looks like Beach and Wimbish are going to get their laps back here. Good for them, but I'm interested to see because I know that 72 has got to be getting close on fuel. And you can tell by the way he's driving it back around here to catch up with the field. He's cutting it close. All right. Restart number 5 here tonight. Four cautions, 22 laps to go, and Chuck Sweeting hits the pedal. 12 of Cody Williams not quite sleeping this time, and look who's up there in the top 3. Laps left, and Richard Holland finds himself up in the 2nd position. Glenn Jamieson running side by side for the 4th spot with John Sanu. Really close to the exit of 2 for Glenn Jamieson on the exit. I tell you what, I don't think you can fit a piece of paper between that truck and that wall. And then Todd Cleveland mixing it up here. We've got a car spinning. It's the 11 of Christopher Spencer.
Spun out. Really?
Let's take a look back. I think he got loose on this exit here. I'm going to venture to say that Christopher just got a little bit loose on the exit of turn 4 and maybe had some help finishing it off. He was currently running in the 13th spot when this happened. Yep, just snaps it loose, and Springer has nowhere to go. We've seen a lot of that tonight. Turn 4 exit. You get used to driving it a certain way. The air gets off that spoiler, new tires. And let's ride on board with the 21 here. Just nowhere to go. Well, we've got a few laps left. You can see here, 5 cautions here tonight. 17 laps remaining. Chuck Sweeting has led the vast majority of this race thus far. 128 laps led for this driver. And he's trying to finish it up and get it done. We'll have about 15 to go when they take the green. I'm interested to see if anybody has anything for him. Richard Holland able to nab away the 2nd position. Cody Williams falls back to 3rd. Your top 5 here as it sits. Glenn Jameson in that 63 machine up in the top 5. I really don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I could predict things, but right now as it sits, 75, just dominating performance. Pulled a few of these guys up and had some talks with him. Talked with Glenn Jameson. We've talked with Tommy Haynes, who's back in the 12th position now, trying to sort this thing back out. James Lee up there in the top 10 in the 43. Jonathan Williams had the great strategy with the clutch pedal, and looks like it's not going to work out for him. These guys on older tires. I know Haynes said that he had a fresh set. I don't know if he's going to elect to take him here or not. We'll see. Well, lights are about to go out on the pace car. I'd pull him up, but they're getting ready to double up this time around, so I have to say probably next time, if we have another caution, we'll pull him up. I guess they're going to go around one more time. These cautions a little bit longer than usual, so going to be lap 14 when they take the green. Looks like. Nation always wants to interview Richard. Good chance we get to pull these boys up for a post-race interview the way they're running right now. Dominating performance by Chuck Sweeting, but we've got Richard Holland, Cody Williams up there in the top 3 now. John Sanu in 4th. Glenn Jameson 5th. Burt Wilson, who was 1 lap down at one point in this race, in the 6th spot. Todd Cleveland 7th. Dakota Floyd, Jeff Gilmore, and James Lee, your top 10. Now the light's definitely out on the pace car. We're doubled up, ready to go back green. We're going to take the green at lap 13. It's going to be a shootout. Some of these tires still haven't warmed up, so look for somebody to get loose. We might have another caution. I don't think we're done yet. You've seen how easy it is to let this thing get away from you on the exits. I don't think it's over.
Ready, green flag.
Green flag back out. No, Richard Holland naps a little bit on the outside, and there goes the 12 of Cody Williams back down to 2nd place. He dives it to the bottom, and he's going to go try to chase Chuck Sweeting down. A lot of racing going on back here from about 10th back. The 45 looks like he's under fire from Brian Beach here. Just trying to hold on to it. John Sanu trying to make up some positions on the outside. Almost 3 wide on the exit of 4. Jeff Gilmore in the 6th position, trying to get by John Sanu and clear him. Hasn't been able to do it yet. He's gotten close a couple times. Really loose off the exit of 4. And 3 wide going into 1 and 2. Tommy Haynes in the middle. 72 gets loose there on the exit. Jacob Daniels. Coming up on 10 to go, we've got an accident. 43 hits the wall, hard into the 17. No yellow yet. James Leom is stopped in the middle of the track, and there's the yellow.
How you doing in there, kid?
I was wondering. I told you they weren't done. All right, let's take a look at that. We kind of saw the edge of it there. The 43 got loose. And he's got the front of that truck all tore up. They were 3 wide going into 1 and 2. Jacob Daniels got loose here on the exit. You see him scrub up the track. So they go back 3 wide again. Then into the entry of 3 and 4, the 43 stuck up there on the outside. Looks like he just gets really loose, snaps it to the left, touches the 17, and hits the 45. I don't know how a caution didn't come out for that. Holy cow, to the 28. Chad Meadows, let's go on board with him. He had a pucker up moment there. Watch right here. Wow. I tell you what, if you're Tommy Haynes right now, you're frustrated with how this race has went so far. He's down here on the bottom, asking for probably the 10th position, just out of nowhere. Not even in his sight line, gets tagged. That yellow doesn't come out to freeze the field. I believe it was an admin thrown caution that brought that out. And then we have the 21. So there it is right there. That's probably maybe what brought out the yellow. I don't know. All right, let's see who we can pull up. We've got one of these guys. I think we'll pull one of them up. Cody Williams, Brad Cooper up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you, man.
Cody, you and Richard have been kind of trading back and forth. It's kind of dictated by who starts in that 3rd spot. Outside's such a disadvantage, it seems like, with these restarts. So what's it going to take here to keep pace here on this last one?
It's going to take a perfect restart. Just it's real hard when we do these restart zones. I mean, it's realistic, it's fun, but you got to time it just right. And it's a big advantage being the leader, being on the inside, and we're gonna see what we can do here. You know, we're not in this championship, and you know, we want our team to do good. So we'll see what we can do here for Richard and get him up there and see if we can't get him a win.
10-4, man. Well, it's good to see you performing well. I talked to you pre-race and told you good luck, and you know what? I picked you to win this thing, so don't let me down.
10-4, thanks.
Cody Williams, 12 truck. And I tell you what, Williams is he's got his work cut out for him. It's like you said, you start out there on the outside, and we were talking about the restart zone. So I'm gonna go on board with him here when we come out of turn 4 and show you what he's talking about with this restart zone, how it works, how it's supposed to work. Last week, myself started on the outside, and it's very easy to get penalized. You do not want to beat that car or truck to the restart zone. So right about here is when it starts to calculate that. So when these guys get doubled up, if the nose of Cody Williams is anywhere in front of the 75 truck of Chuck Sweeting, all the way up to this line here. So this very first line is the zone, and anywhere in between that second line that we just passed is where the green can come out. It's at the leader's discretion to go. If the nose of the second truck is ahead of the first truck at any point during that section or before that line, it will penalize and black flag for a drive-through penalty on the second place driver. So it does kind of put you in a weary situation. You got to stay back, but you also don't want to be caught napping. And when it's at the leader's discretion, you don't quite know when he's going to hit the pedal. You just know you don't want to beat him somewhere that you shouldn't be. Makes it for a really tough restart. You got to time it perfectly. It's like sitting at a Christmas tree on a drag strip. You have to time it perfectly. When they do staggered starts, I know some of those guys in drag racing have their cars dialed in, and then it comes down to total time. You might have a delayed start, and that's essentially what you have. You don't go on green with the guy next to you. But here we go. Let's see if Cody can do it. So tough to do. There it is. There's the trade again. Richard Holland gets back to the inside for the second position. 3 laps to go. Can anyone chase down Chuck Sweeting? Or do we have a green-white checker in store? Side by side back here, Todd Cleveland for the 6th spot. On the inside of Jeff Gilmore now. That's for 5th position. Glenn Jamieson in 4th. Coming racing off of 4, and Burt Wilson gets contact. He's up on the outside. Big wreck behind him. Yellow flag has to come out for this. I don't know how a yellow doesn't come out for that. I know these guys hit the line, but I think it was before the line where this yellow came out. We're going to have to go back and look at that. But Chuck Sweeting coming off of turn 4. Going to get it done. Checkered flag in the air. Richard Holland 2nd. Cody Williams 3rd. We got to go back and look at that accident. That was a big one. These guys racing pretty hard coming off of turn 2, and I could see it happening. These guys almost got 3 wide there for a second, trying to get everything they could. And it looks like Burt Wilson and Johnson just make a little contact. That puts Burt up into the wall. He gets into the 72 hard. Christopher Spencer involved in that. Jacob Daniels, big wreck there before the line. I guess they just weren't sideways enough before the line. The leader had already taken the white flag. We're going to watch it one more time. There's the initial contact. 70, Rick Fagon barely sneaks by that. But that's a huge crash there, coming to the white flag. Al Amy able to sneak by there. But then it's this guy taking it back around. Able to hold off 2 HJRM drivers and get it done. Congratulations to Chuck Sweeting. Post-race interviews with your top 3. Chuck Sweeting getting it done here tonight. Driver of the day votes. We're kind of quiet here tonight, but we did have a hashtag 31 there at the start of the chat, so Richard Holland probably going to get the driver of the day votes on the final count. All right, so we'll be right back with your top 3 and driver of the day right after this. Racing, it's in our blood. From the No Limits at Texas to the high-speed banks at Daytona.
I mean, nobody's going to catch that 3-truck of Hal Amy as he takes it.
From the drop of the green flag. To green flag pit stops. To their DNA. We live for it. There's 7 nights in a week. And only one night matters. All right, let's get through your finishing order. Race results. Chuck Sweeting, your winner. Richard Holland bringing it home in the 2nd spot. Cody Williams 8th, and the biggest gainer of the night, Glenn Jameson, started 24th, passed 20 cars to get to that top 5 in the 4th spot. Jeff Gilmore, great show for him tonight. First time I think I've said that name all season. 57, bringing it home in the top 5. Dakota Floyd, 6th position. Todd Cleveland, 7th. John Sanu, who got caught up in that accident, somehow pulls it home in 8th. 10, Rick Fagone in the 9th spot. And then rounding out your top 10, unfortunately, Tommy Haynes in the 10th spot, running in the top 3 all night long until the end. John T. Wimbish in 11th. James Lee, 12th. Good finish for James there. Christopher Spencer, 13th. Richard Springer, 14th. Jonathan Williams, Burt Wilson, unfortunate for him, 16th spot. Jacob Daniels, Hal Amy, Chad Meadows, Brian Beach, your top 20. And then to round out your field, Craig Learman, Vernon Markheim, who needs to have a finish here at WFO. Started 12th tonight, finishing 22nd. Michael McCauley and Wesley Whitfield rounding out your field. So we've got post-race interviews, and your race winner, Chuck Sweeting, going to be up here in the broadcast booth. We've caught up with him in victory lane. Chuck Sweeting, dominating performance, lead 145 out of 150 laps. Unbelievable day.
Yeah, it's a good night tonight. Truck was hooked up pretty good. Hated we weren't able to. I guess I shouldn't hate it because I got there first anyway, but it'd have been nicer to race it out with Richard and Cody there at the end because they were both fast, and Tommy was too. I think he had some bad pit strategy, but it was a good night overall.
Yeah, we cycled through those pit stops, and I think everybody had that extra set, didn't know what they wanted to do with them. I know how frustrating it can be when you have that extra set of tires. They don't roll over to next week.
No, yeah, it's even Cody and I were about to pit, and I mean we were on the apron when that caution came out, so we kind of got lucky there. Otherwise, who knows how this thing would ended up finishing? But yeah, you got to use them. The tires kind of worked out right with the fuel tonight. A lot of times they don't. You have to skip a set on a stop, and but tonight, we're able to get the fuel to run long enough to split the race equally. Plus, it went green for a long way at the beginning, which was really good. We just got a little messy towards the end there.
Well, we saw some guys trying some strategy. You guys were going to have to make it probably like a 3.5 stop, maybe top off of fuel. But we had a few guys that were stretching that run all the way out to 50 laps. Looked like they were going to make it in 2 stops.
Yeah, that was. I would have been so slow. I don't think that would have worked out for me. But yeah, I saw some guys trying to do that. But I think tires were more important. But I don't know. With the way the cautions ended up coming at the end, we'll never know.
Yeah, the strategies just completely shot out the window there. But nonetheless, man, you still were able to adapt and overcome all the different strategies, the cautions, and you had 4 or 5 different guys trying to chip away at you there during this race. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank for that dominant performance?
I just want to thank everybody with the league, Michael especially for his admin work during the race. I do want to thank my buddy Gil Gawk for the nice paint he gave me. He does a lot of work for me on these things with the paints or wraps, whatever you want to call them, and the truck looks really good for the playoffs. So I really appreciate him helping with that, and as always, Amy Contracting, for all the support they give the league.
Well, 10-4 on that, Chuck. And hey, man, this is looking good for you. Shaping up good in the points, and we appreciate your time. Hope to talk to you tomorrow night.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully, I can have a little bit better finish tomorrow night than I had last week. But we'll see. This track can be tricky, but yeah, I appreciate it, man. You have a good night.
You too.
Thank you.
Race winner Chuck Sweeting, and man, just a dominant performance all around. Congratulations to Chuck there on that excellent finish. And you know what? I mean, this guy's shaping up in the points. We're going to try to get the official points here up on the screen before this broadcast is over with. But yeah, race winner Chuck Sweeting. We're going to move on to your second place driver, Richard Holland, who tried to chip away there. I don't think they had enough green flag laps to get it done. Move him up in the broadcast booth. Second place finisher here tonight, Richard Holland. Man, I tell you what, had that thing went green, do you think he would have been able to get to his bumper?
I don't know. Chuck was very consistent and fast, and didn't make any mistakes like he always does, really. So I don't know. I'd like to have found out. How about that? We raced in traffic all night. We didn't have the greatest qualifying effort. Kind of put us back there, and we pretty much just raced in dirty air all night. And I'd like to have gotten up there and where we were second. I'd like to have seen that last 30 laps or so go green and just see what would have happened. I had a little bit different line than Chuck did. I don't know. Probably would have used them up more than him, but I don't know. It would have been fun to see, but of course we didn't. So congrats to him. He ran a great race.
Well, when we were talking about the restarts, we had pulled Cody up into the broadcast booth just prior to that last restart, and it looked like, man, whoever was on that outside of the leader, and it's been the problem kind of with the staging zone all season, is at such a disadvantage to get going because you don't want to beat that leader to the line. So you and Cody traded back and forth there on several restart attempts. Do you think that maybe that had something to do with it too? Just you guys trying to sort each other out?
Well, I think you hit it right on the head, and we talked about it. I think you're so scared to get a black flag in that situation that you overcompensate and let the leader go, and then it's so much easier when you're on the inside to just go with Chuck. You know what I mean? You can almost anticipate. You can almost you can do whatever you want when you're behind him, when you're behind the leader. But if you're on the outside and you try to jump him a little bit, you get black flag. So we're being overcautious on the outside, and then it ends up screwing your restart, and you end up losing a spot or two or three. It's just the outside was great. If you could get a good start, you could pass out there, but it's just being second. Just afraid of that black flag situation.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to that. I actually caught that last week. Not even purposely in the restart zone. We were actually in turn 4 and got a black flag. So yeah, I mean, it weighs on your mind. I completely understand it.
Yeah, we actually talked about that, right there in one of those restarts about your black flag situation. That's why we were, like I said, probably just overly cautious. But
well, nonetheless, man, you brought it home in second. It's going to help you out in the points, but as this thing shakes out, Chase race number 3 is done and away. What do we have in store for the rest of the season?
I mean, man, we'll see. I think we're going to run well everywhere. Talladega's a Talladega. I mean, it's a crapshoot. I can't remember the last time we finished one of them things, with wheels on the ground. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. All you can hope for is a good run and maybe a good top 5, top 10 finish there. I don't know. Maybe, hopefully Chuck will have some problems, at Talladega, and we won't. I don't know what to say, but I think it's, what is it, Talladega and then Phoenix? No, Homestead, right? Homestead,
I believe
then
it's
Phoenix?
I'll have
Can't
to
even
get that.
remember.
Yeah, I'll have to get that up there on the screen for you.
Yeah.
So we got Talladega and then Phoenix Raceway, and it's over with. So 2 races remaining. Talladega day race, 85 laps, and then Phoenix with the open dog leg at night, 200 laps. So It looks like Phoenix is going to be one of those tracks that drivers are going to have to figure out the fuel strategy, how far they can run, and try to play that in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Phoenix is another place like this here. It's very, very difficult to pass. That's what we were up against tonight. You couldn't pass on the bottom. You had to get to the outside really. And if you were a little faster than the guy in front of you, you were pretty much screwed because you weren't passing him on the bottom. It's just impossible.
Yeah, yeah, and even if you got that run on the outside, you'd have to get the nose in there first on the exit, or you
Yeah,
still would get held up. You take the run to the bottom, and you're in the same boat. Yeah,
yeah,
I saw a lot of it tonight, and then it looked like the thing was really super loose there on the start.
yeah. It was. Yeah, on fresh tires, it was really loose. First couple 3 laps or whatever. Yeah, but overall, it was a good setup. The thing was tight, really. Overall, once you got through that, but pretty good race. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Second feels like a win, but unfortunately, Chuck was the points leader coming into this thing, so he's gained a little more on us.
Well, go ahead and shout him out, Richard, for that second place performance, and we'll get you back in.
I want to thank my teammates, Cody and Rick, Cal. Um, they Cody and them guys helped me out quite a bit this week. Just really tonight. I didn't really have a good feeling for this thing early on in the practice, and they kind of helped me out a little bit, just how to enter the corner and get through the corner a little bit. And I changed a few things I was doing. It helped me a lot. So I got to thank them guys, and thank you, Coop, for doing the broadcast. We appreciate it. You do an awesome job every week, and love going back and watching it. So
Well, you
uh,
better thank the fans out there as well. We have a
yeah,
driver of the day vote yet again, 31 Richard Holland.
nice. All right, sweet. Appreciate it, guys. We like I say every week, them guys, they come out, they actually watch the races and support us and root for us, vote for us. Um, we think about it while we're racing. We appreciate them guys. We know they're watching, and we know they're rooting for us, and we try to do the best we can and give them something to root for, and bring this thing home in victory lane every week, knowing that they're there supporting us. But we'll take this second place finish. Points is it's good, and we'll go to next week. So appreciate everybody. Thank you.
All right, second place finisher Richard Holland, and tough points battle, but we hope to talk to you tomorrow night.
Thanks, man.
There he is. Let's bring up our third place finisher. We've got Cody Williams down on pit road. Cody, I tell you what, man, this final stages, it's just, we talked about that restart zone, and it caught you again. It's just tough to do.
Yeah, yeah, it's real difficult to time that thing right. And happy with the run though. I mean, we haven't been running a lot lately, so it was good to get up there and have a, you know, fight with those guys. And it was a fun race. I wish we would have had about a 30 lap run there to the finish and seeing what happened, but it was a good run for most of the team.
I tell you what, man, to be outside the top 5 starting this race, when you had Glenn Jameson that started outside the top 20, and to drive up there and even have a shot was tough to do here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Passing is very hard to do. So you're so equal. Of course, on once your runs kind of go on a little bit, then the high side kind of comes in. So it's very difficult to pass, and you kind of just you ride and you let people make mistakes, and take the positions you can get. Made up a couple positions on pit road, and just fought our way up there to the end. And that's all we can ask for is to have a shot at the end and just see what happens. Congratulations to Chuck, man. He's so consistent. It's so hard to find a way in there to get around him, and he ran a great race. So we'll move on to Talladega, see what we can do.
Well, good luck there. I know everybody says we should change the name of that track to Las Vegas because it's literally rolling the dice, but we've seen you pull a couple off there and get some podiums. Even snagged away a win from Richard Holland there with a good little extra push.
Yeah, we'll be working with the team definitely coming up to Talladega. It'll be definitely a team effort getting Richard and Ricky up there, the guys that are in the chase, and see what we can do. Stay out of the wrecks, and have to get Talladega can be fun, but as long as everybody keeps their head in the game and don't do anything stupid. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, good luck, and we hope to have you again tomorrow night if you can make it.
Yeah, 10-4. I'm gonna try and see what we can do with the old Xfinity car, and Iowa's my favorite track, so we'll see what we can do, and hopefully I can make it.
I'll go ahead and shout them out, Cody, while we got you up here.
Yep. Thanks to all teammates, Richard and Ricky and Hal and you and us all working together to get better at this thing, and of course Vern, everybody at the league, Michael McCauley puts on a good show, and you for doing the broadcast. And this is a fun league, very competitive this year. I'm impressed, and so we'll move forward and see if we can't get HGRM another championship.
And for on that, Cody, but yeah, thank you for your time, man, and go HJRM. I'm a little biased, but yeah.
All right, see y'all.
All right, 12 truck, third place finisher here tonight. And I tell you what, man, Glenn Jamison, excellent performance. I just want to shout him out. That's an excellent drive to start back in 24th and race your way all the way up to the 4th position. Great job, driver. So there it is. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, leave a like on the broadcast. Share it with everyone you know. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here at WFO Twisted Tuesday Truck Series. We're going to be live again tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. The Village Idiots, Vern Bradley, Nation 01, going to be up in the broadcast booth. Nation flying the blimp right now currently for us. And yeah, look at him. Nice and quiet up here for him. You can get a good look at that wreck there right at the finish. A lot of trucks involved there at the end, but I'm going to get the points updated for you. Try to get the proper information up on the screen and kind of leave you guys with an idea of what everybody's doing. I want to make sure that we're all on the same page as we go into Talladega. I know it's going to take me a little bit of time to get this up on the screen, but I want to make sure it's correct, and don't want to put up the wrong thing. So let's see here. WFO Truck Series. So many different listings in here that I'm trying to figure out. That was Eldura, so I'm just trying to sort it out because we've got Season 11, Season 8, League 1, Match 1, 34 drivers, and it's just hard to sort out here. I'm gonna check this. That's K&N. That's not correct. That's Xfinity Series. Don't know where it is. There's Tuesday Night Truck Series. This might be the one. This might be the one here. There we go. So I don't know how well you guys will be able to see this on the screen, but here it is. Chuck Sweeting coming into this week in first position. Burt Wilson in the second spot. This is actually a Jan 17th Homestead. We have no results yet for Iowa, but that was coming into the points. So Chuck Sweeting had the lead. Burt Wilson probably going to lose a few spots here based off that finish, an unfortunate series of events. And then your second place finisher right here, Richard Holland, probably going to gain a couple spots, but Glenn Jamison holding strong there with that fourth place finish, able to race back up there. He might get the advantage over Brian Beach as we go into Talladega. But anyway, appreciate you guys' time. Thank you guys very much. Again, hit the like, share, follow buttons, and we'll see you tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, here on WFO. Take care. Racing. It's in our blood. From the No Limits at Texas. With the high-speed banks at Daytona.
I mean, nobody's going to catch that 3-truck of Hal Amy as he takes it.
And the drop of the green flag. It's a green flag pit stops. It's in their DNA. We live for it. There's 7 nights in a week. And only one night matters to us. The moment to prove that we're the best. Laying down an entire season. Pushing the limits. We're made for it.
Bumper, Artie Peterson out to the lead. Glenn Jameson's pushing hard now. Garrett behind him. Top 5 could throw a blanket over it. Artie's going to drop down to the inside. 10 car's going to start pushing. These guys are getting a little dicey back in 5th and 6th place. Little contact between the 14 and the 70. 63, 3 wide in the front. Artie Peterson stuck out in the middle. Brandon Winning, we got a car down on the apron. 70 car, and now a car up in the wall. We got a wreck behind him. 1 lap to go. Rick Fagone has got the position right now. Garrett Helmlinger and Glenn Jameson neck and neck. We got a push on the inside. Push on the 10 car. Rick Fagone looks like he might pull it off neck and neck at the line, and the 10. Oh, and the Garrett Helmlinger. I can't believe what I just saw. It looks like Garrett Helmlinger.
Survival of the fittest. 16 chase drivers. 1 championship. Who's got what it takes? As they give the command to start the engines, it's time to find out. WFO is live right now.
On it, but man, Fagone has just a perfect 1 and 2 right there, Nation. Fagone's going to bring it off the bottom out of turn 4. Can he hold them off to the start finish line? And I believe he's going to, Nation.